Endgamers. Endgamers is a powerful and challenging book based on the supreme belief that for every desire, the ability to achieve it is inherent within one's self. Dominic Knight demonstrates how belief is linked to biology. Delighted to be joining me live on the line from somewhere in what looks like a very sunny UK is Dominic Knight himself. Dominic, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good to have you with us. Belief is linked to biology. Now, let's take things easy because it's the middle of the week. It's not even 12 o'clock here in Spain. Talk me very gently through the premise of the book, please.
Well, when I say belief is linked to biology, if you believe you can do something, it unlocks your potential to do it. Very briefly, we can look at the example of Roger Bannister. 2,000 years, no one could break the 4-minute mile. The moment he broke the 4-minute mile, suddenly someone else breaks it. Within 12 months, 37 other people magically break it. The reason being, the moment you see that something is plausible or possible, it unlocks your potential to do it. And there's a lot of science to back that.
And presumably, once one person breaks through that, then a lot of other people think, well, I can do that too. So, for example, swimming the channel, for example, perhaps wasn't going to be a thing that people thought they couldn't do, and yet somebody swims the channel and suddenly you can't seem to move for people going from Calais to Dover or vice versa.
Exactly. That's what it's about. But it's having the belief in the possibility without even seeing it in the first place.
Belief in the possibility without seeing it in the first place. So not that I'm anywhere near your level of knowing how to do these things, but one of my sayings is always back yourself. Doesn't matter what it is, back yourself, have belief in yourself. Because you have the ability to, I'm not saying, okay, so I want to build my own rocket and go to the moon by Friday, but if you have things within reasonable expectation, you have it within yourself to be able to do it. And are we talking visualization here? What are we talking about as in simple steps?
Well, we talk about visualization. That's a simple step because your mind doesn't distinguish between what's real and what's imagined. So if you imagine something to be true, it creates a response in your body. There was an interesting study done where they had these piano players practice every single day for about 2 weeks with their left hand. And they found there was a visible increase in the left hand. They took another group of people and there was actually a 30% increase of the left hand of strength. They had another group of people for 2 weeks practice just inside their minds. There was a 23% increase in muscular strength in a hand that was not used. When you imagine something, it does have a direct effect on the body. The point you said about, building a ship to the moon, right? What's really interesting about that, if you look at Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, they were huge fans of Star Trek. Mm-hmm. They were dreaming about that. They were visualizing about that. Something has happened over the course of time that has put these people in a position to actually build starships.
The visualization, okay? If you can see it, you can build it, you can be it, sort of thing. So, yes. But people go, because everybody got into The Secret and thinking, the famous book which sold millions, if not billions, about visualization, and I dreamed I would have a wonderful house, and I dreamed I have a fantastic car and a fantastic job, and here I am, etc. The thing with visualization, Dominic, and shoot me down in flames if I'm wrong, because it happens, is the fact that it's like any other muscle, and so I can't sit here and go, I really want to have a nice house. And then go, it's half an hour later and I'm not in a mansion in the hills above Marbella. What's going on? How often do you have to, if you like, tap into this? And we'll come on to what we're tapping into in a second.
Yeah, well, I mean, you dwell on that desire, on the thing that you wish, like the house, like the X, Y, and Z, and then you start to take action, no matter how small, towards the realization of that. So, for example, if you said you want a 10 million pound place in Marbella, for example, and you've got no money, what can you do? What's a small step? Well, you can visualize, you can go and look at the place, you can start working out what you would need to do that would entitle you to that. Do you see? It's not like there's absolutely nothing you could do about it. There are things that you can do about it, no matter how small. You could start building a plan towards that.
Okay, well, when you say, so you met belief is linked to biology. Okay. And I'm not saying if you believe this, you will suddenly start, gaining muscles or whatever, though obviously top athletes very much, in the zone used to be something that was laughed at. And now we know there's sports psychology, etc. Tennis players talk about being in the zone when they're playing, etc. And they can physically gain an advantage because they visualize what they're going to be doing. But also in terms of if you are open, if you change your aura, if you like, and you're open to these ideas coming in, that's going to help. Am I on the right track here, Dominic?
You are. It's going to help because you're building a sense of certainty. Look, if you don't believe you can do something, no matter how much you try, you're going to get in front of yourself. You're going to trip over. It's not going to work out. But if you have an absolute sense of certainty, it's very, very different. It's not even there's a distinct difference between believing something and knowing something as an absolute fact. So it's literally learning to bridge to that thing of absolutely knowing the possibility of that thing that you want and the inevitability of it, and then taking the steps in that direction. So it's not wavering. When you have a desire for something, it's not for you to say, well, I don't know if it can happen. No, it's for you to agree upon that. You have the potential for that, and then you'll start moving in that direction. And
presumably the other trick is to keep going on this one, because if you get a setback, a knockback, it's very easy to go, oh, well, blimey, Dominic, I was going to have that house, but unfortunately something happened and, I got my car stolen or something, and therefore it's not working. You've got to presumably look at these as bumps on the journey or things to learn from and experiences to gain by.
Exactly. Because along the path, nothing just works out. Right? Everything has all sorts of obstacles, but those obstacles can be stepping stones. And in life, you'll find that we need an adequate amount of support and challenge to grow. We need both, right? It's not about, well, you want everything to be easy and work out completely. Of course, that's the ideal, but that's not how reality works. It gives you a combination of things. So if you pursue those things, you'll be entitled to whatever you want. One of the things I say in the book is that we are all privileged, every human being on the planet. We're 1 in a trillion, the probability of a life coming into existence. We live in an expanding universe, right? It's not a contracting, restrictive universe. If you look at particular asteroids, there are more precious metals on mediocre asteroids than the entire planet, right? There is enough out there. So if you believe that and you start moving in that direction, you can make things happen.
And of course, we're getting onto the area now of the laws of the universe and energy, and opening up to that and getting your alignment and getting your vibration right. Now, obviously, my normal listeners are going, good grief, he's put a kaftan on, he's got his chakras in a line, etc. But you will kind of find that there's a word that people use a lot is gratitude as well, and opening. And there used to be 30 years ago positive thinking, but if you sort of open up to the good things in your life, no matter how dark it seems, then you will find that more and more things, strangely enough, start to go your way.
Completely, 100%. And also what you'll find is those things that you think were failures or that didn't work out, in hindsight, when you look at them, you'll probably be really happy that they actually didn't work out, because it will get you to where you want to be. You can't have a negative without a positive. There's no such thing as an up without a down and an in without an out. So whatever appears negative has a complementary opposite. Your duty is to look for the good in the unpleasant or the difficult situation, derive it. It's not positive thinking, it's realistic thinking. In doing so, you neutralize the emotional charge from the past, and it allows you to move forward. But if you polarize in the negative, you're stuck. Gratitude is when you look at an unpleasant experience, you got through that, you're grateful. If someone screwed you over, but you've moved forward, well, I'm more street smart now. It's not blaming anything or anyone. That's what real gratitude is about, and gratitude for everything out there.
And I'll go back to my thing is, I'll always back myself. because no matter how awful a situation may be, or hopeless, or, you know, I've something has happened. You know, I have a legendary misfortune with mechanics, with cars. Trust me, the listeners know this, yeah. And it used to really upset me, but now I can sit on the side of the road as something is smouldering away on the hard shoulder and go, well, I've been here before. I've done it before. I've always got out of situations like this. I'm still standing, and that's a trite thing. But people who find themselves in situations where they may think it's hopeless, or I just want to give up, or it's not fair, you should back yourself because you're still on the planet.
Yeah, never give up, in the words of Churchill, right? So you just look at what, you know, there's always a way around things. Time will pass, right? We're on this planet for such a limited period of time. So it's really about making the most of it. Don't judge anyone for whatever they are, their color, their race, even their outlook, whether it's right or wrong. Just don't judge. Just build your own world. Never compromise on who you are. So if someone's unjust, you're not going to be unjust back to them. Someone's prejudiced, why be prejudiced back to them? No, why compromise who you are? Be your very best self. Everything will start working out.
It's all about keeping the level, isn't it? It's all about not letting the drama upset you and muck up your own balance. If you say somebody is rude to you, or somebody upsets you, or somebody insults you because of your race, creed, religion, political views, whatever, you just go, fine, okay, no worries. Because if you react to that, and that is what a certain segment of your psyche, your body wants you to, because it thrives on the drama, then you upset your balance, and then you will find that completely upsets your day, week, month, year.
Exactly. So it's learning to be impervious to that. Like, that's their view, that's their belief. It's never about you, it's them. So why, it's almost like if someone's drunk and they're swearing at you, why would you be upset? What are you upset about? Like, you're on your path. Now, don't let anything faze you.
You work with some pretty influential people, designers, TV presenters, etc., etc. Now, you would think, I mean, the casual observer go, well, it's all right for them because they're successful. You know, I'm sitting here and I've got a paper round and I'm 54. So, you know, it's never a finished. It's never a finished project, is it, Dominic? You're never a finished. You're never a completed item, are you?
No, never a complete item, always a work in progress. And here's the thing, even at the higher echelons of society and this and that, people struggle, they have difficulties. It's almost like if someone cut your arm, no matter how much money you've got in the world, you're in pain. Someone might have emotional pain that you give them all the money in the world, they would just want to get rid of it to get rid of that discomfort. Like, so you don't know. Do you see? So we're all going through something. So and hence that's why just learning to be your very best self and learning this thing of non-judgment towards people, irrespective of where they are, what's going on with them. But
it can be very difficult because we are bombarded with images now more so than ever of people, quote unquote, living their best lives. Most people don't put, I'm feeling absolutely rubbish on the socials. It's all, look at me and here I am and look at my teeth and look at my car and here's my perfect girlfriend, etc., etc. You can't move for influencers. But again, because that's only like you say yes. Bezos, you say Musk, and we think, oh, for goodness sake, I can never compete with them. But we don't know what they think at 2 a.m, do we?
Exactly. And here's one thing. I was reflecting on the idea when people say fake it till you make it. I think that's actually incorrect. It's about making it till you have to fake it. The people that are thriving, that are really happy with great wealth, will not be showing that to the whole world unless it's for marketing. Let's say like a Floyd Mayweather. He will show lavish amounts of money, but that's marketing strategies at its highest level.
But here's the thing, fake it till you make it. But if you're faking it, or if you're doing it, so if you're putting you're creating a ritual, you're creating a practice.
It's believing. Yeah. It's different. So it's not fake. It's living in the assumption of what you want is real and you're that person now. So that isn't fake. Here's the thing. If it's an idea in your mind, it's already there. You have it as an idea, waiting towards its manifestation. But faking it sounds a little bit wavery.
Yeah, but
fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but if you say, for example, if you say fake it till you make it, and I've been in some situations and some groups where that's sort of a mantra. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but you get into the practice. So, for example, if I wanted to write the great novel, you know, and if I'm going to get, so I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to get up at 6 o'clock every morning and I'm going to do 250 words, nifty 250. And you might sit there in front of a blank computer screen or whatever, or maybe you think you're going to get fit and do a gym workout, and you might just get as far as doing half a sentence, or you might get as far as doing five push-ups. But if you do those 5 push-ups or you do those 250 words every day, eventually your biology will kick in, and you, even though you don't know it, you will suddenly start creating, be creating a practice, or be creating a novel, or be creating whatever you want to do, and that's when you actually make it.
Exactly. I mean, those small steps generate the momentum, and before you know it, you're there. But there's a really great quote, which is, you know, to have the power to do the thing, you have to do the thing. So everything that you ever want to do is really difficult at first, whether going to the gym, working out, going on a date, riding, whatever it is. But the moment you start and you commit yourself and you're in a routine of doing it, you don't want to miss it. Right. But it's just that initial start. It's having the conviction, the belief in the initial thing, as opposed to attempting to motivate yourself to just do it, because the motivation will, it very quickly disappears. But if you're taking small steps and you're gathering momentum and you're in a routine of doing it, the success becomes inevitable.
So why the book, Dominic? Why are you sharing these secrets? Why are you hoarding them for yourself so that, you know, you, or did you think, right, it's my, I've learned something, you know, pass it on?
Well, I mean, it's a couple of things. Like, for 17 years of doing this, and I've read thousands of books and worked with individuals, from people on the street to presidents to you name it, right? So I've seen the whole gamut, the whole spectrum. And that's why what I write in that I conclusively believe to be true. It will unlock the potential for people. And there's a really important part, which is actually in the first couple of paragraphs, where I talk about the fact that irrespective of your biography, you're not your biography. Wherever you are at this moment in time, you're capable of achieving what you want. And the greatest amongst us, if you look at Steve Jobs, Nelson Mandela, Nightingale, whoever it is, even Gandhi, they had questionable, horrible pasts. They'd done things that were so wrong, but that didn't define them. There was a turning point where they closed the door on their past and then moved forward. So it's about closing the door on who you were, right? And then entering the consciousness of the greatest expression of yourself and moving forward with that. You know, living in that, where we're not bringing up people's pasts and guilt and anxiety. No. Let go of that and move forward. Create what you want.
But if you look at people's past, or you look at your own past and go, well, I did, you know, I didn't have the greatest whatever, and you're taking a cheap shot. It's a cheap shot, isn't it? And it's a low blow, you know. And as they said, when they go low, we go high, as the saying goes.
Yeah, and the thing is, everyone's got things in their past, and everyone's got this. Well, I'm too rich. I'm too good looking. I'm poor. I'm not good looking enough. I'm the wrong color, wrong race, wrong whatever. Like, the body, when you attempt to do something, it brings all these excuses. So it's like, learn to close off from that. You're not who you are. Like, you become who you want to be.
And why end gamers, by the way? I mean, that sounds a bit sort of, I mean, I did think that's end gamers. What, you know?
Well, because it's re-engineering backwards.
Right.
So if you look, and it was something which I really stumbled upon from a lot of conversations with some really brilliant minds, where they have almost like an astronomical vision, and they work backwards in terms of what's the initial step I need to achieve that. So even if that thing isn't going to be achieved in our lifetime, they have the end vision there. So we can talk about moving people to Mars. Whether it happens in our lifetime or not, we don't know. But if you look at the great cathedrals, the great works of art, the great works of literature, they weren't written, well, I'm just going to write this for now, get some money out of it, and then no, it was written for millennia. These were astronomical visions. So the vision, and then you re-engineer backwards. And the subtitle, Architects of Destiny. I'm a mindset architect. I believe you can be an architect of your destiny.
So if anybody's sitting out there having a bit of a waver and thinking, you know, I really want to do that, and it can be a big thing, or it can be I want to write the great American novel, or it can be I want to build a cathedral to celebrate whatever particular spirit of the universe I'm into today. Or it can be, you know, I could really do with losing a few pounds. Is it, as in all things, as we said, small steps, fake it till you make it, and et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's just the initial steps and getting into the routine of doing things to the point where it becomes habitual. It becomes your identity. The great thing about the human body, it's very habitual. If you smoke enough cigarettes, drink enough alcohol, it's become habits. They're all habit forming. Eat enough celery instead of biscuits, you're going to look for the celery. Scientific facts, it becomes habitual. So get into routines. That's it, small steps into those routines, and you'll start to really enjoy what you're doing.
The book is called Endgamers. It is by Dominic Knight, who we're speaking to today. Dominic, if people want to find you, something tells me that you have a pretty active website and social media presence.
I mean, there's going to be some stuff launched for the book quite soon, so keep your eye out for that. For now, if you want to find me, my website's www.dominicknight.co.uk. You can find me on there. And
you'll be able to download the book as well from our own virtual bookstore. The book is called Endgamers, Architects of Destiny. It's by Dominic Knight, who is speaking to today. Dominic, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.